What is up, my dogs? Welcome to episode 4. Is it episode 4, I think? Yeah,
Four,
right,
yeah.
Of Very Good Cocktails with me, Alexwasily. As you guys can see right off the bat, we are not at our home, our lovely home at the Gold Diggers Hotel. Let's just say that there is an A-list artist who bumped us today. His like ultimate A-list, who's recording a video there. We can't really say much else, but it's totally cool. We are here at my kitchen, and honestly, I'm glad in a lot of ways because the whole point of the show is to help you at home make killer drinks. So we are here. Autumn and Trent are here.
What's up?
What's up?
Autumn is in the chat. Trent is here for banter and for flavor profile and historical knowledge. I'm your host, Alexwasily, and we're going to get this ball rolling. But before we do that, I want to say who we are benefiting today, and this is an organization that does the most good, honestly. It's called the California Innocence Project. For those of you guys who don't know about the Innocence Network, it's a giant organization across the country. We're benefiting the California branch today, but they work super hard to help get people who are innocent out of the criminal justice system. And they help a lot with people who, when they get out, there are not a lot of resources for people who get out of prison, especially people who have been in the public eye after a long trial and whatnot. But they're a super awesome organization who work hard, who give awesome descriptive monetary amounts, like how much you donate to them matters in terms of what they can actually do with the money. So all the money that you're giving today is donated to them. We are super glad to be helping them out. They've been super awesome in responding to all of our emails and whatnot, and are glad that we're doing this with them. So proud to be helping them out. If you want any more information, check out cainnocence.org, or you can follow them at CA, I think, _innocence. Just double check. I'm sure you can find it in our social medias. But they're doing really, really good work. They're based out of San Diego. And I don't know, we feel pretty strongly over here about helping those who are like just disenfranchised by the American criminal justice system. So we are happy to do our part here. We're not giving millions, but we're doing what we can during quarantine.
Yeah.
As you know, we are all unemployed, but we're doing what we can to do some good in the world. So here we are, the winter special. Let's get right into these delicious cocktails. I'm going to start right off the bat with one of, probably, if you have lived in Chicago and I've come to your house during the winter at any point, you know that I have made this lethal yet amazing, complex, delicious beverage for you. I'm going to make for you my famous mulled wine. I sold this for $5 a glass at Lincoln Station. It took no prisoners. Mm-hmm. It's so easy to drink and even easier to make. There are a couple like strict rules, but once you learn those, every hot drink you make from now on will be off the chain. Cool? So I'm going to get a saucepan. Notice mine's non-stick. I love to cook syrups and cocktails in non-stick cutlery or non-stick cookware. Yeah. Just because it's easier to clean when you're heating up syrup. We all know how messy that can get and how easy it is to burn. And this stuff, I don't know, something about it. I generally don't keep things on a high heat anyway with non-stick, but especially with this cocktail, we're not going to want high heat at all. Cool. So from our ingredients list, I've got my little box of spices here. Let's go ahead and, you guys probably can't read this because it is so small. Trent, if you want to hold it
I'll
up,
hold this one up.
Totally can.
Just for a sec.
But it is 3 sticks of cinnamon. I broke these in half. You can break them in half if you want. Yeah, there you go.
Let me...
Perfect. You guys can pause it right there if you want to get the spices, but 3 sticks of cinnamon, 3-star anise.
Oh, we've got 4, 4, and 4.
Oh, 4, 4, and 4? Okay, cool. Oh, yeah, you know what? I put 4 in there. There we go. 4 stars anise right in there. 4 cloves, is that right? 1, 2,
Yep.
3, 4. And it might not seem like that much, but honestly, guys, dried spices, when you leave them to mull for a long amount of time, they get really, really powerful. And something about clove and anise have an anesthetic property. So if you leave them in for too long, or if you put too much clove and anise into it, think like salt and pepper. Too much of it is just not happening. So you're going to want just the amount that I put. Don't go crazy. And if you're using ground spices, I wouldn't recommend it. You can if you have to, but just like, let's see. If I were using cinnamon, I would say like a pinch of each. Like it's not a
like a half teaspoon, quarter teaspoon.
A quarter teaspoon at most, just because ground spices are really going to infiltrate every single pocket of the mulled wine. So, okay, cool. Got cloves, got cinnamon, got anise, and then I'm going to do a long grating of nutmeg here. Just right in, probably like a 10-second grating. I love nutmeg. I love my microplane. If you watch the prep video, you'll see I'm not sponsored by microplane, but I would love to be. So please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. All right, cool. Love nutmeg. All right. And then for this one, I like to use dirt cheap wine. And I find that the cheaper the wine is, the better it is, because I know in my head I have made this garbage wine taste really, really good. It's just something satisfying about like a $4 bottle of wine, taking it to the next level with this recipe here, okay? Yes. So I'm just gonna go right in, whole bottle. This is about 3 cups of wine. It's a healthy sound. We love that over.
2 shots of vodka.
2 shots of vodka. And I'm using a dry red wine. I am not using a sweet red wine at all. You don't want sweet red wine, but if that's all you have, then just go easy on the sugar at the end once we've warmed it up a little bit, okay? I'm making this first because we're going to put it on the stove and let it simmer for like 20 minutes or so while we're making the other cocktails, and then we'll taste it together. So this is a cashapp. I got this, I think, for $7.99. I'm not going to taste it on its own because I don't want to be disappointed.
I would.
we're not above trash wine here at the old crib. All right, cool. Next up is the peel of an entire orange. So I'm going to take my knife and I'm just going to peel. Here. And I'm just going to peel these big giant pieces. If you get a little bit of the fruit in there, that is okay. It's not the end of the world. This is a pretty roadhouse recipe. So all my chef friends out there watching me carve this orange, probably laughing at my knife skills. Cool. All right, cool. Pretty rough. Doesn't need to be perfect. And we're just going to toss that right in. The whole peel of an orange. Cool. We'll save this later, make some killer orange juice with it for breakfast or something. All right, and then I'm going to zest pretty much a whole lemon right here into, just take a second.
This zesting brought to you by Microplane.
Yeah, exactly.
Microplane, the choice for all chefs.
Exactly. This is a proper zester.
It'll be us in Ina Garden.
Exactly.
Sponsored by Microplane.
Exactly, dude. I'm all about it. All right, cool. It's about halfway there. A lot of people, when they're making mulled wine, don't add any acid to it. And I kid you not, acid is the key. You want acidity in your mulled wine, or it's going to taste like simple syrup. And you do not. It's going to taste like grape juice, Kool-Aid, simple syrup, because if you are making mulled wine and you haven't followed my instructions, odds are you cooked off all the booze and you didn't add any acid, which is no good. So this is not a cocktail that you want to leave on the stove all night, or even for more than 15 minutes. And I'll explain that in just a second as we cook it. Just because we do not want to cook that alcohol off. That is essential. Cool. There we go. 1 lemon zested. Just gonna grab a spoon, give it kind of a little mix here. All right. Going to put that, put this over here. Put this on the stove at like as low as your stove will go. I'm talking like barely even on. So cool. So the reason why I'm so neurotic about not overcooking your mulled wine is because the first thing to evaporate, if you've ever used hand sanitizer, the alcohol evaporates super, super quickly. The exact same thing is happening in the mulled wine. And I haven't added the liquor part to it yet because, thanks for that donation, whoever just donated. Thank you. We love that. But when you're cooking this at home, the alcohol is the first thing to evaporate. So when you see steam coming off the top, that's your precious booze disappearing. You don't want this to simmer. You want it to just be warm. The thing about it is this cocktail once we add the whiskey to it, it'll definitely it'll have enough burn. If you know what I'm saying, it won't need to be that hot. This shouldn't be as hot as like a cup of coffee or even tea.
Yeah,
this
warming.
is warm. Yeah, I mean the fact that it's warm wine with whiskey added to it will warm you up to begin with. You know. So if you're making this in a large quantity, this one's really easy. You can double the recipe. If you're gonna double the recipe though, when it comes to the dried spices, this is kind of a finagly thing, and it's kind of mathy, but you guys can do it. For every batch that you make of this, start with this recipe, but if you're going to double the wine, cut the spice amount in half, if that makes sense. Because if you make 3 batches, and you put 12 stars of anise into your 12 dried stars of anise, that spice, I know, is so powerful, it's going to take over everything. And you don't want to waste spices. Spices are expensive, or they can be expensive. You want to use half of the amount for every time you double it, if that makes sense. And that's kind of generally true for dried spices if you're cooking in a crock pot. If you have a lot of dried spices, it's just going to get really powerful. So you don't want that. So little thing to remember there. So yeah, we're going to let this get just barely warm. Put my hand in it. Yeah, it's not even close. And that the longer it sits, the better it'll taste. And then if you're going to make a large batch of it and put it into a crock pot, turn it on for, I would say, 15 minutes of every 60 minutes. Let it turn on and then turn it off. Turn it on and then turn it off. You have to monitor it, or else it will cook off all the booze and you'll be left with shitty grape juice the overspiced shitty grapefruit juice. Cool?
Tannic baking spice.
Exactly. So, all right. So I'm going to let that ride while we make the next cocktail. This is the winter special. We have had a lot of requests for this next cocktail I'm going to make for you, and our R&D this week, let's just say it was a lot of fun nailing this cocktail down. This next one we're going to make is one of my all-time favorites. It is a hot toddy. But before we do that, we're going to answer some questions. What are the questions we got there, Autumn?
Easton would like to know, and I'm just like, the math is confusing me. 150% spices instead of 200% for a double batch?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Yes.
And then I was going to do a quick qualifier. So
Please.
It's 4 of each for the first bottle of wine.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So then if we go to 2 bottles, now we're at +2. We've cut the 4 in half.
Yes.
But then if you go 3, it's still just +2.
Yep.
You don't have it again.
Yep.
So you do 4 for 1, then it goes 6, 8, 10, 12, 14
Yes.
with every bottle.
Exactly.
It's 2, 2, 2.
It's kind of confusing, but check it out. Here's how I feel about winter cocktails, and I think a lot of people will agree with me. I might be crazy, but I am the kind of person who, when I have a glass of mulled wine, I want 1 glass of mulled wine. I don't want like 4 glasses of mulled wine. If you really like this stuff, then by all means, make it every day. I don't care. And send me pictures. I'll be proud. Because this recipe has circulated, all my homies making it, and my friend Nora, for instance, is making it right now, and I'm super proud of her for doing it. Send me all of the pictures. I love it. We have a question?
Kevin Capuzza says that alcohol boils around 170 degrees Fahrenheit.
There we go.
So not getting close to that is key for maximum ABV.
God, I love you, Kevin. He does work for a chemicals company.
He is
Yeah, I was like, that's got to be a chemical.
Yeah, next question.
Harley's wondering if a $3 chuck will suffice.
Absolutely.
If you can find a $1 chuck, do it. I'm telling you, the cheaper the wine, the better it will taste, because you know you have created something from nothing, and that is what we're trying to do here. Uh-oh, another weird question before I get into the next thing?
Well, Constantine is just curious if you could do Malort in this instead of whiskey.
If you... I'm trying to think of like a funny Malort joke here. If you despise yourself that much, Constantine, then I would recommend it. But I know you're a good man and you have love in your heart and not hatred, so please don't make Malort mulled wine. I really would not recommend it.
Yeah, just run as hard as you can, face first into a brick wall. It'll be much more efficient.
It'll be less
It'll
painful.
feel the same.
It'll feel the same, you're right. It might be less painful, honestly. Okay, I'm going to keep things moving. Next up, we're making a hot toddy. Cool? Coffee cup.
Oh, branded.
You like that? This is just one of my beautiful vinyl stickers across the coffee cup here. It's nothing special. And I'm going to set my water boiler to on. We're turning it on. Cool? Hot toddies... They have such a bad reputation, and people really think that it's just whiskey and hot water with lemon, and it just so isn't. You that's fine if that's what you like. Of course, if you were to sit at my bar and ask me for whiskey and hot water and lemon, of course I'm going to make it for you. But if you ask me for a hot toddy, this is how I'm going to make it. And this is after some fun R&D that we did all week. We really had some fun with this one. Cool? So I'm going to wait for my water to heat up. I like to kind of build this one off to the side. Notice I'm not building in the glass immediately because I want to heat the glass before I add anything to it. It's the same thing as chilling a glass. You want to heat the glass in this case because the water you're putting in, if the glass is cold, it's going to drastically affect the longevity of the cocktail. Thank you for that donation, whoever that was. Hell yeah, love it. Cool. So for this one, there we go. When building cocktails, we always start with the cheapest ingredient first, just in case we mess it up. So I'm going to start with my honey syrup, and I'm going to go a full ounce of this guy right here. You can, if you have questions about how to make honey syrup, I have a whole prep video on my Instagram or on the YouTube channel. For anyone taking private classes, that's another great way to prep for this class as well. Cool. Next up, I'm going to add my lemon juice. This is fresh squeezed, unpasteurized. This is not from like a real lemon bottle. That stuff is trash. All right.
And you strain your lemon juice after juicing it? Or
yeah, I mean a little bit.
Just a light strain
yeah,
to get all the pulp out.
Yeah, there's not too much pulp. And if it's like really pulpy, then I'll strain it. But this looks fine. And I haven't forgotten about the lemon juice that's going in the mulled wine. I'm letting it chill for a minute. I'm letting the spices and the wine really get to know each other before we add a quarter cup of fresh squeezed lemon juice. Like I said, we want acid in there, but I'm letting it chill. Oh, okay, it's getting warm. It's getting warm. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes, and then I'm going to add sugar to it because we want it's so much easier for the sugar to dissolve once it's warm, as we know. Cool? But I'm going to continue on this hot toddy. Here, the water is boiling. I love it. Next up. Can you pass me the bitters on?
Yes.
Thanks. Cool. I'm going to add 2 dashes of the tried, true, trusted, tasty Angostura bitters to the hot toddy, and then the dry curacao. Okay, so if you don't have this brand, you can go. This is triple sec, essentially. This is a fancy triple sec, but as I said in the first class, your cocktail is only as good as your worst ingredient. So if you're using like Blanton's whiskey and like Meyer lemons and cane sugar syrup, but you use shit triple sec, your cocktail is going to taste like shit triple sec. So you want the best for what you're making, especially for yourself. And I prefer Pierre Ferrand dry curacao. The reason I like this is because it's a cognac-based orange liqueur as opposed to a grain neutral or gin or like vodka based. Those are clear. You notice this has like a nice honey color. Cognac is made from grapes. Cognac grapes to be specific, from France. This is a French company. This bottle is like $23. You use it in minute amounts. I swear, if you get this, it will add the depth that cognac gives to any cocktail to whatever you're making, even if it's a shaken delicious cocktail. In fact, especially if it's a shaken delicious cocktail. Cool? That's my spiel on Pierre Ferrand dry curacao. I love this stuff. It's great in tiki drinks too. When we do our tiki episode, or tiki episodes this summer, we'll definitely be using it. But notice I have, half an ounce here. I'm going to go a little heavy, like a heavy half, if that makes sense. Cool.
In woodworking, we call it being proud of the line.
There.
You're either shy or you're proud of your line.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm proud. It's a proud half an ounce. I'm going to use that forever.
Yeah.
Thank you, Trent.
Yeah.
Proud and shy, is that right? That's great, dude. I mean, I've heard just shy of something.
Yeah.
I've never heard just proud of
That's
something.
me and Eric. It's a little proud, it's a little shy. You can like adjust boards.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Woodworking and booze. Saws and booze,
Yeah,
they go together.
What could go wrong? Cool. So I'm using Evan Williams White Label. This is bonded whiskey, meaning it's 100 proof. This is like a $22 liter, 1.75 liter. I'm a huge fan of buying handles. I'm not against it. You get a better price per ounce, and it doesn't go bad. So 2 ounces of this, all the way up. Don't cheat yourself. Be proud. Spill a little bit. Totally fine. It doesn't matter. Cool. So the whiskey is going to go down here for just a minute. All right. I'm going to tend to this while our water boils over there. All right. It's just warm enough. All right. Now I'm going to add our quarter cup of fresh squeezed lemon juice. just like that. And for those of you guys just joining us now, we are doing this class to benefit the California Innocence Project. They're a terrific organization that helps get people exonerated for crimes they did not commit. They've helped 34 people in the state of California get out of jail, get out of life sentences. They've taken people off death row. These people are literal lifesavers. So we're giving our money to them today, and I'm proud to be supporting them. Good people that work hard there. Mm-hmm. So cool. This is going right back on, and then I'm going to add half a cup of sugar. It's a lot of sugar, but trust me on this one. You'll be glad. Cool. This is one of those things, as I was saying, if your wine is super sweet, then maybe go easy on the sugar, but just use your best judgment. Taste as you go. I'm going to give this a quick stir. Yeah. So I can already smell, I'm sure if you're doing this at home as well, you can smell the lemon zest, the lemon juice. The spices are starting to come through a little bit. I'm getting a lot of cinnamon right now because those cinnamon sticks are huge and they're dry. And they're soaking up all that alcohol. And alcohol really does break things down really nicely. So it's probably leaching all those tasty oils that are in the spices. Because spices are essentially just wood, So we're adding alcohol to them and pulling out all their tasty oils. This does smell incredible. And I'm just going to lightly stir it. I'm not going to go too crazy, but I can feel that granulated sugar at the bottom. Yeah, there we go. Cool. I love this. Oh my god. Oh, dude! We haven't even added the best part yet, dude. I love it. Alright, we're going to let that chill for a little while longer before we add the whiskey. If you add the whiskey too early, that's going to cook off first. I would rather the wine's alcohol cook off first than the precious whiskey. Cool? Water is boiling for the hot toddy, which I have built over here. This is also a fun lesson in making multiple things at once. I'm going to pour this boiling water into my cup. Cool. Let it get hot for a few seconds. Yeah, it's getting there. Cool. So this hot toddy that I made, what's so awesome about it is that it's going to be way more herbaceous than what you might be used to. And that is, a lot of that has to do with the Pierre Ferrand Dry Curacao and with the Angostura bitters. Both of these have a nice spiced warmth to them, like a holiday-ish flavor. And if you're from Chicago, you can drink a hot toddy 8 months out of the year. I mean, it was funny. We have our last cocktail today is a very LA winter cocktail, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But here we go. Cool. This has got to be. Yep, that is piping hot. Damn. Cool. So I'm gonna toss this water.
Yeah, dude. The oldest joke in Chicago. There's 2 seasons: winter and construction.
Of course, dude. Of course. All right. So I'm gonna pour my delicious honey gold color hot toddy in here, and then I'm just going to top it in the cup. This is quite a large coffee cup, so I'm not going to go all the way up, but just enough to make sure it's steaming, that it's hot. Yeah, dude, this is... I know this is good because we've made it so many times, but this is the way. If you're using... my friend Zach asked, is Cointreau cool? Cointreau is totally cool. Maybe just go easy on the honey syrup. And you can use Demerara syrup if you want. I know I put Dem on the list. You can use Dem, just use a half an ounce if you're using Dem. But honey syrup, I'm telling you, is the truth. Let me take a little sip here. Oh, come on, man.
She slapped?
Dude, it's offensive. Please, eat. This is my cocktail, which is broken for you. Enjoy. All right, I'm going to tend to the mulled wine here. Cool. It's warm. I'm going to turn it off. The heat is off. Yeah. Yeah, there we go, dude. The official sign of tastiness.
T, you want to rip?
How is it?
Sure. Do you want to tell them what Ian advised too?
Oh, right. Yeah. Totally. So, one of my best friends, Ian, who is not here today, but he's normally here in the chat trolling and having a great time. Ian Adamczyk is his name. Very talented bartender. If you add black tea instead of water, if you add hot English breakfast tea, just like steep it as you would. When you're heating the glass, you can make black tea with it and then save that and then add your whiskey to it. But yeah, I kind of want some.
Yeah, dude.
Is it hot? Is it hot? Hot and boozy?
Pretty American cocktail here too.
Definitely.
It's a pharmacist trick.
Is it really?
1786.
Hey, I didn't know that.
Yeah, for colds and flus. You'd be prescribed hot toddies.
Oh my god.
It is kind of like a wellness shot.
Oh, yeah.
Or wellness
Well,
cup.
it's like the old like farmer grandpa trick, right? They're like, I'd make a little tea and put whiskey in it
Right.
when they have a cold or a flu.
Yeah, exactly. Helps your kids go to sleep.
For the children.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
For the kids.
For the kids.
Oh my god, that's amazing. I hope you guys like that one. If you're making it at home, please in the chat. By the way, we're live on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook Live right now. And Instagram Live, of course, anyone watching. The phone is literally taped to the shelf. I wish you could see it, dude. This is 3 college degrees in here.
Yeah, we're pro
We're
riggers.
taping the goddamn phone to the shelf.
We know how to rig things up.
Exactly, dude. Excellent. Okay, we're gonna move forward, and oh, here we go. Here we go, guys. It's time. The shot donation spree. It's a little bit that we added in last week, and we're gonna do it forever. But let's put 5 minutes on the clock. Where are we at here? And we're gonna talk Blue Streak about the California Innocence Project.
Heck yeah.
And we're gonna talk about how awesome they are.
Love
And
to.
in that 5 minutes, we would love to see donations rocking in via Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. Last week we raised $500. Most of it was during the shot donation spree. And at the end, you guys get to watch me take a shot of something that's probably not great to take on its own. Last week you guys made me do gin, tequila mixed with Angostura bitters, which honestly wasn't that bad. But I would rather not do something like that.
Yeah.
But whoever donates the most gets to choose what it is, or if it's a crowd across all 3 chats that Autumn has up, then we'll choose. We'll make a team decision on what I'll be ingesting.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go.
Let's just go ahead and challenge Mike Foster's wallet.
There we go, dude. Come on, Mike.
I know
Pull
he
him out.
lost like 3 consecutive bets on the golf course this week,
Oh
so
my
let's
God.
dig in a little deeper.
Dude, let's go. Pull them out, guys. Okay, California Innocence Project. They're based in San Diego, like we said before. If you're just joining us, today's class is benefiting them. Do we have is that?
Hey, we have 5 minutes.
Like, you got 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I
you're
don't
right.
think
I
you
can
got
talk
much.
about California Innocence Project for 20 minutes.
They help. Not only do they help exonerate people who are innocent. Thank you for that
Hear
donation.
that?
Love it.
Respect.
Respect. Not only do they help people get exonerated from charges from our broken criminal justice system, but they spend a lot of time, money, and energy in training students who are working to pass the California bar.
Yeah, passing the California bar, young and up-and-coming public defenders,
Yes.
getting them the training they need
Mhm.
so that they can show up in court and litigate.
Exactly.
Which we were crunching these. These
Exactly.
are the fun numbers to
So,
crunch.
we were talking about it earlier. If you donate $25 right now, that amount of money will pay for investigation documentation. So it'll pay for essentially someone to, or it's the court order fee, whatever, to get that documentation from the investigation into the hands of the lawyers to help them have a better case in court. So all these public defenders that are working their ass off, it takes money to do this stuff, which is another reason why our country is so broken when it comes to criminal justice.
Because you have to pay.
Love it, guys. Thank you for the
Okay.
donations.
You have to pay our government who's prosecuting you for what they call discovery. Because that's how you can prove things in court. You have to discover the evidence and it has to be public. So like the $25 is literally so they can get like whatever they're like, if they have an alibi.
Exactly.
Some document that can prove an alibi.
$25 for every $25 you're paying essentially for that. And then the craziest thing is that all the way up, we took the lowest and the highest numbers that they give on their website for 1 day. 1 day of litigation for a trial. Sometimes these trials take months.
We're talking about a murder trial.
Yeah, we're talking about people's lives, people who are improperly accused of things they did not commit. Whether it's forged evidence from a corrupt police system, whether it's a prosecutor just trying to get W columns,
Crooked cops,
you
pushing
name it.
blame.
These people are working hard to combat that, and it costs $5,000 a day for legal fees for 1 day of litigation from a lawyer. So we're doing our best here. I'm not expecting $5,000 from anyone, but if anyone wants to give $5,000, we'll for sure take it.
Yeah, and let's get a lawyer in court for a
day. And there are thousands of these cases that are happening in court right now. And in California, there's millions of people that live here, but across the whole country. And like I said,
another big one too, I would say is so $1,000 they can do a DNA test, which we know with with the invention of DNA and that expanding,
Yeah.
that's ultimately what's getting people off nowadays
Yeah.
is DNA. And like
Exactly.
that's what they need. It's
Yeah.
$1,000 just to get the DNA evidence.
It's absolute madness, man. So, and as you were saying, you know, generally, thank you for these donations, guys. This
Heck
is
yeah.
amazing. We love this. This is so great. I hope anyone from the Innocence Project that's watching is like
Yeah.
saluting and enjoying their hot toddy right now because you guys are the true heroes for real. What do we do when we can't? When we feel helpless, a really easy way is to give what resources and time you have and your skill set to people that you know are qualified to do the job. Because we love. Thank you guys. This is amazing. We have vetted them. They know what they're doing. I am not an expert on that, and I'm happy to admit. So I've been learning just like you guys are probably right now, checking out their website. But they're, like we said earlier, they're part of a larger network just called the Innocence Network. Thank you guys. This is amazing. This is awesome. Let's go, guys. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, the reason how we kind of, I mean, obviously it's a big thing that is going on in our country, but Netflix has that show, and then
Yes.
there's, like,
multiple Trial 4,
Mhm,
which
mhm.
is the show about a case in Boston.
Right.
And then they have the Innocence Files, which they partnered with the Innocence Project. And it's a series, I think it's 8 different cases that they've worked on.
Only 8 out of the thousands.
Yeah. And 8 of the 34 that have been freed. So you do get to see people, it's not a spoiler because it's still treacherous
It's still-
to go through what these people go through
God.
to get freed, but they get to show you some people that get out of prison, you know, spending every day for 20 plus years wrongfully committed to a prison.
Dude, it's upsetting. The other day they had their live gala. They have an annual gala. Probably, I don't know if it's just annual. It might be more than one. But Autumn was watching it. Specifically, there's a scene where they take a man who's been wrongfully in prison for how many years?
27 years.
Yeah.
27 years he spent behind bars wrongfully. It like breaks my heart, this poor man. And they take him out. We're going to keep talking about it just for a second
Yeah,
here.
why not?
But how do I stop this? There we go, like that. Go back here. Yeah, he was wrongfully in jail for 24 years, and they picked him up from outside of the prison because he had no one there to get him. They clothed him, and they took him to a Carl's Jr., and he didn't know how to order, and they helped him order, and he didn't know what like a combo was because it's been 24 years since that was in
27,
like
yeah.
27 years. And the poor man, like, he took a bite of a Carl's Jr. cheeseburger and said, "This is what beef tastes like." And, like, that, these is people's lives, man. So, I don't know. I feel very passionately about it. I'm, like, welling up just thinking about
This money goes to
Yeah.
buying their clothes, to buying them their first cheeseburger.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Classes
Small
for
things.
skills to rehabilitate them, to get a
Exactly.
job,
Yeah.
to pay their bills when they're no longer in prison.
Right. And we all know how awesome the service industry is. It's an amazing place for people who have made mistakes in the past or who were wrongfully convicted or who were innocent and got out. It's a healthy, good place to go and get work. So I'm all about working with ex-cons and working with...
regain like social skills
Exactly.
in the real world. I mean, you're not in a cell, and like
Exactly.
you need to learn how to make friends again.
It's deep. So these people work their asses off, and we are so grateful for that. 5 minutes, the shop donation spree, that meant a lot. We got some killer donations, and it means the world to us that you guys are giving us your hard-earned money right now because we know how hard it is for everyone. What is the question?
Well,
Right.
so, no, everyone had, gave some really great money.
Okay.
It was great. But, like, in both the chats, the number one thing people want to see you shoot is half and half.
Oh, no!
And-
you guys see it over
And
here?
everyone can see the
on!
half and half and the hot sauce. So they're suggesting a hot sauce
Curdle
shot.
the half and
Harley,
half with some
Harley
hot sauce.
even said a simple syrup shot. You've got options.
I mean, I'd rather drink
Simple.
liquor.
What's a bloodbath? Is that a
Oh,
shot?
dude, okay.
That was Kevin.
It is kind of a shot. It's more of a bomb. Okay, Kevin, so the Bloodbath is a Lincoln Station Sunday Bills game tradition. It is, if I'm not mistaken, half of a Labatt Blue draft with a shot of Jameson and grenadine into it. Yeah, it's absolutely savage. I don't have anything really like... Or you know what? I could... Here we go.
Beer and raspberry and...
Okay. yesterday, if you guys watched the Instagram story,
Oh.
you saw that I'm not drinking half and half, guys. I love you guys, but I'm just not
you
going
are
to do
drinking
that.
champagne.
Yeah, I'm drinking champagne here. I will do a little mini bloodbath for you, Kevin, because you've asked me so many times. And one day, like I said, we have so many weeks of shows planned for you guys. Next week is the egg special. We're making egg cocktails. A lot of you guys have requested eggs. We have 3 months of shows planned for you guys. One of them will be like bar specials, like we're gonna make the ultimate lunchbox shot and stuff like that. So this is fun stuff to look forward to. This is the Roadhouse special today, just for you, Kevin, because you've asked for a bloodbath every week and you've been here over and over and over. So I'm gonna go.
I can do one too if you want.
You want to do it?
That bottle of High Life.
Let's go, dude. Let's go. If you guys watched the Instagram, the Very Good Cocktails Instagram yesterday, you saw I made some fresh raspberry syrup. This stuff is so good. All right, and then. Oh my
It's
god.
got a handle.
Yeah, right? Let's see here. To anyone watching at home, let's go, dude. We do have a bottle of La Gritona here. We are, of course, affiliated with the Gold Diggers Hotel. So naturally, I've got my La Gritona here, and we'll rip this later on. But, as is tradition. But since Kevin asked so nicely every single week to run the bloodbath down, this is, I guess, sort of a rendition of that. And you know what's crazy is I bet this isn't going to taste too awful. I bet it's not going to be great. But cheers, Trent.
To cleaning up our judicial system.
Cheers to the California Innocence Project, to the hard work they do, and to all of you watching at home and donating. Here we go. Well, I'll just say that I've had worse, but that's not good.
Not great.
It's not great. The raspberry really hits.
And this
The
is
raspberry
called Alex Wasily's Very Good Cocktails,
No,
right?
there's nothing very good about this.
Very good cocktails and very okay bombs.
Yeah, right. This is,
Whoa.
Kevin says it's cough syrup.
yeah,
Cough
they're-
syrup.
cough
The
syrup.
yeasty, like, the bready finish with the raspberry, it's a little, like, toasty,
Sure.
but, like,
a
your
fucked
toast
up,
has mold.
a fucked up biscuit. Yeah.
Yeah.
your toast.
You put moldy Wonder Bread in your toaster and then covered it with, like, a really nice raspberry jam.
Oh my god. Ooh. Okay, we're moving on. We're past the shot donation spree. We, of course, we're benefiting the California Innocence Project. We appreciate you guys. Am I getting it in frame here?
Yeah.
Top hand lower.
I'm like a weatherman over here.
Bottom hand a little lower.
Top hand
Both a little lower.
Yep, top hand lower. Little lower. Little lower. You got it.
The California Innocence Project, we work hard for them so they can work hard for us. And we're very grateful. Okay, guys, the next cocktail we're going to make in our winter special. I'm not really sure how this ended up in the winter special. I think Autumn just really, really likes them, and she asked for them. But this was a really fun opportunity for us to do some research and development. I called a lot of talented bartenders that I know, and a lot of them gave me really awesome, different, yet similar answers. And we decided to start a whole new segment that we are calling the Literal Remix. Yes! We're going to do this every now and again when there's a cocktail that is so nebulous that people make differently at every single bar. We are going to find what I think is the ultimate build on it. And if you guys know me, I'm neurotic about builds. I know I like things measured. I like things precise. I like things exact because I like consistency. So you guys know that we just know that this isn't bullshit, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to make this 3 different times. You guys don't have to do this at home, but I'm going to show you so that you don't waste your alcohol at home on different builds. We are going to make the renowned espresso martini. So what you'll need for exactly. Autumn is so pumped for this one, dude. She loves the R&D for this. This will also be one of the rarer times you see me make a vodka cocktail on the show. Not that I have anything against vodka, it's just vodka. If you're making vodka drinks, generally it's because you like the flavors of the ingredients as opposed to the vodka. And it can be a little difficult to make the flavor of vodka really sing. Here we don't try to mask the flavor of alcohol, we really try to lift it and make it taste like more than it really is, like better than the sum of its parts. Thank you for all these donations, guys. This is amazing. Cool. So what you'll need for this is a $1,500 espresso machine.
Casual.
This is Courtney Taylor's. Courtney is one of the co-founders of Nerds Vote, the organization we were with last week. Since we are not at our home at Gold Diggers, we found out literally hours before our show today. We acquired this amazing espresso machine from her that we used all week. So we're very grateful. Thank you, Courtney. If you're watching, you are the best. But you're going to need fresh espresso for this. You can, I've seen people make espresso, excuse me here.
Yeah, like you can do like the Violetti, yeah.
Yeah, you can use a mocha pot, but it's just not going to really be the same. You want bitter, frothy espresso that doesn't taste like coffee. And you know what's funny is you can use cold brew coffee. If you don't have espresso, use cold brew because it is bitter enough. And it'll still taste great. So if you're at home and you don't have a fancy espresso machine or a Nespresso machine and can't pull a double shot of espresso right now, just use cold brew. Or if you have coffee lying around, if you want to go full Roadhouse, then go for it. So hopefully you guys haven't started making this cocktail because this, like I said, we're doing the literal remix. We're going to start with the 90s Steakhouse Garbage Edition, make the modern edition that we see on the internet, and then we're going to make the Alex Wasily's very good edition, right? So all three editions. How's it going over there on
It's done. I'm just going to try and start it back up again.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh.
Going live for too long on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
I guess that's a thing.
Oh, I don't know, my phone is just closed.
Oh, okay. Weird, whatever.
Find me.
Cool, so we're going to make, and you'll be able to see the difference here. The point of this is like a class, as my buddy Ian said, he's like, dude, you're in the future. You can do what, you can do what you want.
Yeah.
And there are probably some purists out there who will say, no, you don't add cream, do an espresso martini, or whatever. But like I said, I'm going to make all three. Just leave it. That's okay. It's not live. We're going to, you guys really should, I wish we could show you guys this amazing jerry-rigged phone. It's so terrific. If you can get it live again, then go for it. Okay, so I'm going to make you the Roadhouse Steakhouse Classic if you were to go to Ruby Tuesdays in Central Illinois. Or
In
like,
Batavia?
Yeah.
Or Effingham?
Exactly. Effingham, Illinois. Jen, if you're watching, I love you. My friend Jen's from Effingham.
Dude.
She says only the best things.
You have to pull over and get an effing ham and cheese sandwich when you drive through town.
Okay, so since we're...
Say hi to Instagram again.
Hey, there we go. What's up? Nice cocked. That's so funny.
Dude, it's a Dutch angle. Something is amiss.
This is so funny, man.
Artistic.
Okay, I hate martini glasses, guys, but since we're making this is the literal remix section of the show, we are remixing the cocktail. I'm going to make the first rendition, the garbage rendition, in a martini glass. And what's funny is that the garbage rendition of this cocktail really isn't that bad. It's not great, but it's equal parts simple syrup, vodka, and espresso. Get my handle of Smirnoff. Some people are really picky about their vodka, and that's totally cool. I am not, because I think, honestly, a lot of vodka tastes the same. That being said, if you are like a vodka sommelier, I'm impressed that you can pull different flavors and different notes out of your vodka. But doesn't really matter to me. I'm using Smirnoff. It's $15 for a 1.75. So, cool. Got my glass in front of me. I'm going to chill the glass. Go. Little bit of ice. Okay, so I like using bags of ice. It's like $1.99, but you just want to make sure your ice doesn't taste like your freezer. You can taste it in the cocktail. I don't know. I think it's worth $1.50 for 40 cocktails that I'm making. This bag of ice has been in there since episode 1, and I think it's worth paying the $1.50 for ice that doesn't taste like your freezer. So, and now I'm going to pull a shot of espresso from our beautiful machine over here. Shout out Miami, Florida. I'm using Cafe Bustelo for the espresso. For all of you coffee heads out there, I apologize. I'm not using a scale and measuring the grams. I'm just kind of eyeing it here. But you want a double shot of espresso, not a single. So I have the double filter in here in my filter. Cool. So I'm going to kind of level it out, make sure it's clean. And then tamp it out a little bit, like so. Cool. This machine, honestly, is so incredible, and we're very grateful to Courtney for letting us use it. So like I said, this is the Roadhouse rendition. This is the Ruby Tuesdays in Batavia, Iraq, Batavia, Illinois.
Batavia, Iraq.
No, Batavia, Iraq is a delicious liqueur. It's made from palm tree hearts that we use in tiki drinks. Cool. So I've got my espresso pulled right here. I'm going to grab the bottom of the jigger when pouring hot things into it because I don't want to burn my hands. And I'm going to pour a whole ounce. And I'm measuring this rendition. Made a mess, but whatever. I'm measuring, and the other ones you'll see that I am not measuring the espresso. I'm just putting the whole shot in there, which is weird for me. I won't lie, it is strange for me, but I can do it. I can handle it. It's cool? So, I'm going to shake this one really hard. An espresso martini should have a really nice foam across the top, and I'll show you why in a second. But a lot of people, actually some of the bartenders I called said they don't like making it with milk or cream because you don't get that same thick froth on the top, which I totally hear, but we really experimented with it. I'm telling you, Autumn had a great week as we made these, okay? So when we're shaking a cocktail, as we know, we are aerating, diluting, and chilling. So when shaking, I want to hear it sound like a maraca. It shouldn't sound like swirling ice. It should sound like this, okay? Cool. And this, honestly, this is a great cocktail that's a litmus test for if you shook it hard enough and well enough, because the foam will be there if you shook it well enough. Cool? So I'm going to take my martini glass that I hate using. I prefer coupes to martini glasses. What's the question?
Should we turn off the heat on the mulled wine? Have we
Yeah,
anything with mulled wine?
the heat's been off for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's okay. If it's steaming, for sure turn it off. It should just be warm to the touch, which it still is over here. Cool? And we'll get back to that in just a minute. But I'm really letting it steep. Okay, cool. So notice this foam across the top. That is for sure what you want.
Look at that.
And you know, to say that there's no cream in here, it sounds crazy just because it's so white.
Yeah.
But that's really just...
It's got like the draft Guinness effect.
Totally.
Where it's like swirling still.
Nitro. Almost looks like nitro. But you'll see this beautiful foam on the top that, you know, you can swirl and... It tastes fine. It's fine. Honestly, it's fine. But we're not making Alex Wassily's fine cocktails. We're making very good cocktails. So like I said, this is the first of 3. And the reason you want a foamy espresso martini is because the garnish for an espresso martini is 3 espresso beans in a little triangle. And apparently they say that each bean is health, wealth, and happiness. So it's like a weird 90s...
And we'll take another round of boneless buffalo wings.
Exactly, dude. Yeah, I'll have my espresso martini, and I will have another round of boneless buffalo wings. But if you were to order an espresso martini probably anywhere in the country, this is close to what you would maybe get. It's sweet, it's espresso-y. You cannot really even taste the vodka. It's definitely masked. I mean, vodka, if you add enough ingredients, you're not going to taste it, but you see this froth, though. You can see this foam layer right here. If you shook it hard enough and well enough, you have aerated the cocktail, and this foam is going to live on the cocktail for the entire duration of its existence. What? Autumn's eyeing it and laughing. What?
Harley's saying shot number 2, telling us to finish it.
Oh my god, dude.
Slam
How's it? Doogie Howser?
No.
It's only an ounce of vodka. I mean, as I like to say, the espresso martini is the original Red Bull vodka. It's pretty fucked up. But you know what? Wait, okay, so are we...
Not as fucked up as you slamming this.
Exactly. I don't want to slam this because I have to make 2 more of these.
Dude.
So this is the Roadhouse rendition, as we said.
If you want an innocent person to be freed from prison, you will slam that fucking cocktail.
Dude, you know what? When you put it like that, it's awfully tempting, Trent.
You are getting some chugs now.
Oh, God.
Hey.
So, wait, yeah. Let's see. Is anyone watching this on Twitch? I'm just curious.
No, just me.
Just two. All right. Well,
there's one other person now.
What's up, other person on
Whoa.
Twitch? Hey there, stranger. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, who's there?
Say.
Cool. All right. So next cocktail is the internet rendition. So like I said, we're doing our literal remix. We are remixing the cocktail. There it is. This is what the internet tells you, and this is why in the ingredients I put coffee liqueur. A lot of different shows. This is generally the build. If you go on, there are YouTubers with like millions of views, and this is their espresso martini. So I decided, why not give it a shot? And honestly, it's pretty good. It's pretty good, and it's a little more traditional than the one I made, but it's good. Cool. So I'm going to start with the cheapest ingredient. This is the second one, like I said. I'm going to do a half an ounce of our 2-to-1 Demerara syrup. So some nice, thick, full-bodied sugar syrup. I really love them. If you watch the prep video, you'll see exactly how I make it, but it adds a nice buttery mouthfeel to anything we're making. Cool. For coffee liqueur, I'm using Mr. Black. This is an Australian cold brew coffee liqueur, about $25 a 750 milliliters, that is, for a bottle. This stuff's great. It's kind of like, I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys have Kahlua, and Kahlua is fine. It's just a little sweeter. This is a little more bitter. But I like Mr. Black. This stuff is great. And I'm going to do a half an ounce of Mr. Black. Cool. What, 1.5 vodka? Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. And this was the part that kind of sketched me out on the internet, is like one shot of espresso, that could mean, you know, a lot of different volumes. And 1.5 vodka. Cool. And when we're building cocktails, a big thing to keep in mind when you're building something or creating a build to a drink is to recognize what's called the wash line. And this is like a cocktail, you know, professional chef term or whatever, but the wash line is where the cocktail, in the glass, the line that it comes up to, essentially. So the wash line for this cocktail, I would say, is a half an inch lower than the rim of the glass, but we know this is foamy, so we want to keep that half inch of foam on the top. And see, it's still foamy. It's been 5 minutes, and it's still foamy. Cool. Excuse me. Jesus, that beer shot or whatever the hell I just shot earlier is fucking hitting me at 100 miles an hour. But the garnish is still sitting there really nicely, so letting that chill. And then I'm going to pull, it just says a shot of espresso. So I'm going to pull another shot of espresso using my beautiful espresso machine. Cool. Back to our Cafe Bustelo. Shout out Miami, Florida. Do we have a question right now or no?
Well, actually, someone was asking me about the Sambuca, the coffee beans in Sambuca.
Oh, right.
I mean, and I was kind of like, yeah, it's like an after dinner thing. I don't know if you can speak on that at all.
I remember it is traditional to serve them. It was like one time though that anyone ever ordered Sambuca, and we had to like dig it up from the closet. For those of you guys who don't know, Sambuca is like a very sweet start. Yeah, it's a Greek thing for sure. The health, wealth, and happiness thing with the coffee beans. I should have done more research on that. You know what? Well, Trent's got a second on his phone.
Yeah, that's
while I pull this espresso.
Also, you would do, if there were some more donations, you'd shoot one of these espresso martinis, right?
Yeah, you know what? If there were a lot more donations, I might consider shooting a whole cocktail. But, you know, I'm not going to say that too many more times because God knows you animals out there. All right, cool. I'm going to lock this in. And like I said, this is a double shot of espresso. So if you have an espresso machine at home, just make sure you have the filter. This little cup right here has a filter. You can either choose the double or the single, depending on how much espresso fits in there. Okay, so I'm going to go back in and let it run. Oh yeah, black gold. Now we're talking. Okay. And honestly, if anyone out there wants to give me a very good lesson on how to make a very good espresso, I would 100% trade you a cocktail class for an espresso class. Honestly, that would be pretty cool. Alright.
Alright.
Cool. Put that down. Alright, and then, like I said, this recipe here calls for a whole shot of double espresso. So I didn't measure this, and I don't like not measuring, but I'm just going to do what the internet told me. Put that whole shot in. Grab the biggest cubes I can before I break into the next bag of ice.
Alright, so espresso coffee beans arranged in a petal formation,
Right.
floating in the center of the drink's creamy surface. Triangle, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
The floating of the 3 beans comes from the traditional serving of sambuca in Italy, where the 3 beans are called con la mosca, meaning with the fly,
Right.
representing health, wealth, and happiness.
Health, wealth, and happiness. So it's the same thing. Here we go. I'm gonna shake this one up. I'm gonna grab my. You know what? Let's do this one in a wine glass so you guys can really see the foam. Cool. Cool. So like I said, you can hear that you shook it well, and if the outside is getting nice and frosty, you can feel your hands getting cold, you can feel the ice building up on the outside of the tin. That is what you want. So let's double strain here. Remember, we always double strain our shaken cocktails because we want to get those microscopic ice fragments out of the top. Should have said that for the first one. In fact, I shouldn't have double strained the first one because at a roadhouse, you wouldn't get it double strained.
You never would.
Exactly. And I'm not going to garnish this one just because it's in a wine glass. But
Because it's going to get handed right to Autumn.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But you can see here, when holding it up to the light, I'm sure you guys can see, but the foam, it's doing the Guinness effect again. Once
Yep.
again, like I said, there's no cream in here. The thing about espresso martinis is that when you go to a restaurant, sometimes you order it and it's just like a thing of ice cream in your cup, which is fine. I like ice cream and I like coffee ice cream, but I don't know. It's such a finicky cocktail. It's
Dude, so the history of this is the only one I didn't look the history up.
No,
I should have.
please.
Okay, so created in 1983 by Dick Bradsell at the Soho Brasserie in London for a customer who had asked him to make a drink that would quote wake her up and fuck her up.
wow.
When asked as to exactly why he settled on that drink that day, Dick said, "The coffee machine at the Soho was right next to the station where I served drinks. It was a nightmare. There were coffee grounds everywhere, so coffee was very much on my mind.
Take this one.
It was all about vodka back then. It was all people were drinking."
That is true. 80s?
Yeah, 80s.
Yeah. How
To
good is
wake
that?
her up and fuck her up.
Honestly, that's really good. That's good.
I mean, the original Red Bull vodka.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That tastes good. Thing about it is that why would I drink something good when I can drink something very good is the question. So, we are moving forward here. Blazing trails through our espresso martini journey. And we're going to make what I think is the ultimate espresso martini. And, what's up?
Well, we also found that the Mr. Black coffee liqueur is pretty bitter.
Yeah, exactly.
So it'd be interesting to try it with Kahlua.
If you
right?
try it with Kahlua, yeah, it's going to be a lot sweeter, so maybe go easy on the dam. Good point. Because Kahlua is a lot easier to find. You can get Kahlua at a gas station from your drive home from Vegas.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or Effingham.
Or yeah, Illinois. Right. I'm going to make one more shot of espresso here in a second.
Well, and like this is just so obviously the millennial thing where like cold brew is what, like 5 years old? How long have we even cold brew has
Yeah,
been
right.
a thing, right? For like 5 years.
It's very hip. Yeah. Yeah, cold brew alcohol. This is definitely, just look at this, like this beautiful Art Deco bottle. And as you drink it, as you can see, there's a pattern in the back that's going to start appearing. You know, like a little,
Wow.
it's a lady drinking coffee. It's very, very chic, very hip. Okay, cool. So this last version, this is my build. This is after some R&D. This one it has dairy in it, so if you're not a dairy drinker, you cannot substitute oat or almond milk in this. I wish I could because I prefer drinking oat and almond milk. It's better for you and it tastes great, but it will curdle. It will break up. The acidity from the espresso will destroy that almond milk and that oat milk. So I'm going to move on here with my build. This one features a little bit of Liquor 43. This is a Spanish alcohol. This tastes like if you made chocolate chip cookies and you made the dough from scratch, and then right before you add the chocolate chips, you taste the dough. This is what this tastes like. Very vanilla, brandy based, if I'm not mistaken.
Sugar cookie, like marzipan-y.
Vanilla,
Yeah.
hard vanilla. I mean, yeah, and this little bottle it smells like vanilla extract, honestly, but it's great in minute quantities. I really like it as like a, if something's too bitter, you can kind of ease it out with this. So, cool. Appreciate your patience here as we literally remix the espresso martini. But I'm going to build it again. I'm going to start with my coffee liqueur. Alright, and for those of you guys just joining us now, we are making the best version of the espresso martini. In fact, some might call it, well, I don't want to say best because best is subjective, but it's a very good espresso martini. I'm going to use a bar spoon. This is 1/8 of an ounce, this spoon. When you get a bar spoon, if it's a proper bar spoon, it's been measured, it's 1/8 of an ounce. So you can go, if you don't have one of these, you can go, you can fill your jigger to 1/4 of an ounce and then try to tap out half of that. So whatever you need to do. Cool. Just like that. Only a minute amount. This stuff goes a long way. What do I got in here? Yep. 0.5 dem. Yep. So same thing. I'm pretty much doing the same thing. I'm just adding half and half to it because I like a creamy espresso. I like lattes. I like cappuccinos. This is 1.5, right? Yeah, 1.5. Cool.
I mean, on the West Coast, we wake up last.
Yeah.
So we love a latte out here.
Sure.
New York is like finishing their workday and we're showing up to check on emails.
Exactly. We're showing up to film whatever, last minute email, late night.
R&B, hip hop, gold diggers.
Exactly.
Yeah, could be.
Or you're a super famous hip hop artist filming yourself at Gold Diggers.
Some might say R&B too.
Yeah.
Some might say.
Soul.
But we don't want to like narrow in on this too much.
Exactly.
Right. A dancer.
Truly.
Some might say.
Some might say a dancer.
A skilled dancer, singer, producer, and mostly singer, honestly.
Probably still has abs.
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
abs.
For
Oh,
sure,
yeah.
abs.
Some might say very good abs.
Right.
Yeah, very good abs.
I don't know if you'd say the best.
Cool. Pulling the double shot of espresso. And I haven't forgot about the half and half, guys. I'm just adding it last because I don't want it to curdle for any reason.
Man, now we're talking about Applebee's in the chat. Makes me want to go to Applebee's.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I mean, Chili's, it's a toss-up. TGI, RIP. But, like, those chips, I don't know how they do the chips at Chili's. They're salty air. It's crunchy, salty air.
I know what you're talking
And you
about.
pick up, yeah, and it's like picking up salt with air and crunch with salsa. Presidential margarita, you get your own shaker. It's where everyone learns how to bartend.
That's true.
Chili's? What?
Yeah,
You
dude.
get
When
your
you
own
order,
shaker.
when you
Wait,
order
tell
the
me about
presidential
this.
margarita, you
Get a
get
blue-
the margarita. Yep, you get a blue plastic shaker of the residual, like leftover cocktail portion they couldn't fit in the margarita glass for you.
So do you think there's a promising opportunity for very good cocktails to go teach lessons at Chili's?
I would love to see.
Harley used to work at Fridays.
No
she
shit.
got fired from Fridays.
Yes, you did,
Yeah.
Harley.
Well, fuck them, Harley. They went bankrupt.
Did they really?
I don't see a lot of Fridays anymore. I think they ran into financial troubles.
Ooh, Chili's margaritas at the airport.
Let's
Oh,
go.
original plug. Yeah,
Alright,
yeah.
here we go. We're going to shake this one up, and this one, like I said, has half and half, so we're going to get like a milky cocktail. Alright, here we go. Shook that one a little longer. That's just because I want to make sure I got a nice foam on it, and I did. Cool. I'm putting this one in a double rocks glass, so it looks kind of like a shot of espresso. Where is my double strainer?
Right there, doggy.
Thank you. Cool.
Perfect.
What are you gonna do about it?
Don't hate the player, hate
So
the
late
game.
to the party.
Right? And with a nice light cocktail like this, you can really pour it hard. And that surface tension will keep it. It's honestly convex over the
Yeah.
top. So, and I am going to garnish this one because I think this one is very good. Cool.
You want to do the pedal?
Yeah, let's do it. Health, wealth, and happiness. Oh, come
That's good.
on. Buried him a little.
Lemon chocolate chip cookie.
There we go.
Look at that.
Yeah, right? That is offensive.
It's just like left-hand milk stout
Dude,
on nitro.
that's so good. And honestly, I like it shaken that hard because, yeah, that's really good.
I know you want me.
It's-
I know you want me.
It's like a latte. It's so good.
Yeah.
Nice and out of focus shot of the, like when we, yeah, exactly. When we held up the Boulevardier last week or whatever, and it was like this blurry image. Yeah.
Cheers,
right.
y'all.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm gonna chug it like a shot.
Chug it like a shot. I will for a donation.
Yeah.
We can get like $50.
What are you
in the
guys
next
trying to
2
do?
minutes.
Pull DNA for a grand?
Here, you know what?
Okay.
Let's just go back to the screen. Ready? Oh shit! Shot donation screen, even though we did it. For $25 to the California Innocence Project, I will drink this. I'm going to take the coffee beans out of the top so I don't choke and die. But I will drink this rapidly if we raise $25 or $50 bucks. You said $50 bucks.
Yeah.
$50 across the board. Yeah. All right. So
Come on, Mike Foster.
yeah, we have Mike Foster.
Come on, Moneybags.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna rinse my tools here. That is so tasty. What, is the Instagram dead again?
They probably missed like
Yeah.
all of the espresso.
Dude, I love
It is what
the
it is.
Instagram is just
Here we go.
dying. Yeah. Okay, so we're getting back to our beautifully jerry-rigged Instagram live
I
module.
told them it's taped to a bucket on a shelf. Hey,
Oh,
go.
here comes some.
Uh-oh.
Dollar bill.
That's a healthy sound when Autumn's done fixing that. All right, so we've got our mulled wine. It is still warm. There we go. Cool. Say hey, Trent.
Sup?
It's not on.
It's just not on. What's
Good.
going
No,
on?
it just keeps saying that it's paused to low connectivity, and we've had some connection issues.
Alright, well,
Not a gold
okay.
digger,
Yeah,
you know?
right. We aren't using
If
their.
you're on
They have
Instagram-
900 megabytes per second internet over there because they're built for live streaming. If you live in the Los Angeles area and you're looking for a place to record, if you're looking for a place to quarantine yourself because you've been exposed to COVID-19, the Gold Diggers
Okay.
Hotel is the place to do it. Honestly, they are our partner in this. They've been amazing. Like I said, we have some awesome giveaways coming up from them that we are so pumped to auction off. That may or may not include hotel room stays here in Los Angeles.
There are some R&B soul.
Yeah, you may
abs.
bump in.
You may
Might
bump
bump
into.
into two. Right. There's a lot of possibilities. I'm gonna take a look here at my mulled wine. All the sugar is nicely dissolved. It's pretty chunky.
Oh yeah, you can take that shot.
Oh shit!
Oh, we got
it.
Eddie.
Did we really?
Yep.
Okay.
You met the goal.
All right. Well, let me do the mulled wine first before we rip that.
Yeah, you want to curdle the mulled wine
Exactly.
in the gut.
Exactly.
Old school gut curdle.
All right, guys. Here we are with our mulled wine, our beautiful finished product. If you're making this, and this is the only thing you're making, by the way, you can totally, you can serve it a lot sooner than right now if you want to. What am I trying to say?
We've been letting it like come together a little
exactly.
longer.
We've been doing other
Letting the
stuff.
spices bloom, letting everything kind of work.
And now I'm going to add a cup of whiskey to this. So this is 3 cups wine,
Yeah.
1 part whiskey. So this is not like, this is a cocktail. This is not a glass of wine. Please just keep that in mind if you are imbibing it. Just like don't slam it or it will slam you, as we say.
Yeah.
So let's go. This is 1, 2.
Half cup.
Yep, there we go. A whole cup in there.
Yeah, dude.
And you will notice the nice oil slick across the top, where actually, honestly, all the zest just sank to the bottom. How interesting. But this is hot, and one good way to know it's done is check it out. When your orange peels are purple,
Yeah.
that's done, and it
Get a
takes
little
it takes
stain.
just a couple minutes to do that. But chef's kiss. This is ready to be served here, so you can. If you want to, you can strain it. You can strain all the stuff out. I wouldn't do it because, honestly, I love getting a little, like, that's a beautiful garnish if you put that in a coffee cup. I'm going to serve it for my friends here into Normally you have a warmed glass, but I'll show you how I serve it here. Yeah.
And this is our oldest cocktail.
Yes.
2nd century Romans.
Really?
Going up the Rhine and the Danube.
Okay.
Which is like, Danube is obviously obviously, it goes through Belgrade, obviously, but Eastern European River. They had a bunch of wine. We didn't have the, synthetic corking technology we have today. So what's a great way to make shitty wine that's gone sour taste good? Bloom a bunch of baking spices in it, a bunch of citrus peel, and warm it.
There we go.
And then adding a half cup of Evil Will takes it from 2nd century Rome into 18th century America.
Exactly, dude. And this is like, this isn't hot right now. If I wanted to heat it up a little bit more, I totally would. But it just tastes so good on its own. Hang on here. Yeah. You get the citrus, you get the acid. I don't mind a little bit of pulp in my mulled wine, mostly because I love knowing that things are natural. I like clarified raspberry syrup is great, but I like that. I like knowing that it's real raspberry. So yeah, it's great. It's like if you're sitting at home getting ready to watch a movie with someone you care about, or more importantly, alone in a dark room. It's a great, great thing to drink. I love mulled wine, and check it out. So one really easy way to save your mulled wine. Say you didn't drink the entire 1 part whiskey, 3 part wine. All you got to do is after you've had a couple glasses, obviously, because we added whiskey to it, it won't fit in here unless you have a little bit. But once you have a little bit, you can strain it off and strain off the spices, and you can put it in your fridge for, I don't know, probably a week. I'd say a week, maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah, with alcohol, I'd say at least a week.
Yeah, I would say it's safe to drink for a month, but I wouldn't do that. I would, it's so good, you'd want to drink it quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can put it back into the bottle, funnel it back into the bottle, label it what date you made it, and you're good to go. All right, so now I'm shooting this. Is that right? Is that what's going on here?
And you're gonna chug
I
it.
gotta remove those
Yeah.
pretzel beans.
Death traps.
Don't want to swallow them like a pill.
All right, we really made it. It was $50.
Oh yeah.
Who was it?
Yeah.
Who's responsible for this? Give me names.
Jillian, Harley.
Jillian! Of course. And you know what? Jillian was there when I called Benjamin asking for his advice on the espresso martini.
And Anthony and Harley.
Yes, and Anthony and Harley, thank you guys so much. Jillian had a really, really great point when talking about the espresso martini that's just been ringing in my head, is that she likes the bitterness, and I totally agree. I love the bitterness of espresso, and when you're making it, when you're making a martini, if it's not a little bit bitter, you're not doing it right.
Yeah,
so.
we do it for the farmers, if you will.
Yeah, there it is, dude. So, cheers to my milkshake of alcohol that I'm going to drink.
You are
here.
actively getting people out of prison, though.
That's true.
So think about that as you chug.
Dude, that's so
They're
neat.
twins.
Espresso.
What's
Twins?
that?
Are they twins?
Jillian and Harley? I don't think so.
Oh,
No.
never mind.
Cheers, guys. Here we go. I mean, honestly, it's delicious. I'm not mad.
No. It
Do I
goes
want to?
great with the high life and raspberry liqueur in your gut.
Do I want to do that again? No. But is it delicious? Yes. That was very good.
This chug brought to you by The Days.
Brought to you by sprinting to your nearest
Yeah,
laboratory. Yeah, exactly. All right, I'm pouring that one out because no one wants to drink it. All right, guys, cool. That is the literal remix on the espresso martini. We are so glad, if you made it at home, that we're so glad you enjoyed it, because honestly, the point of a cocktail that's very good that I make is that everyone can enjoy it. And I hope you guys really dug it, because I love that one. Put this back in.
And we're so glad to be back where it all started.
Exactly.
Look at, in 4 classes, we've gone from the kitchen to being bumped by a prominent A-list
Exactly.
R&B artist. That
Exactly.
is the only thing that can bump us from our space.
Singer.
Dancer, singer, abs.
Abs. Is he an actor too? I don't think so.
Well, are they? We don't know. Could be
Or
a
is
woman.
he or she?
Could
Right,
be,
sure,
could be-
right.
But are they? I mean, was jumping the gun a little bit.
Yeah,
could be a they.
I apologize. You're right. But yeah.
Prominent
But
artist.
it's a he.
Sure. We'll go ahead and say that is true. Yes.
Kevin said, "I am not an actor."
Good one, Kevin. Hell yeah. Glad you're here, bud.
Yeah.
All right, guys. And lastly now, we are going to make what we think is the LA winter cocktail.
Yeah.
So one thing I noticed when I moved down here is that people drink clear spirits so much more than they drink dark spirits. And by clear, I mean generally agave spirits, tequila, mezcal.
And it's a proximity thing, right?
Yeah, sure.
We are in Mexico. Like, let's be real about it.
Right.
You know, this
We're
is Mexico.
stolen. We are 2 hours away from Mexico. In fact, Mackenzie, the wonderful woman who runs the Gold Diggers Hotel, is camping this weekend in Baja, Mexico.
Dude, sick.
We miss her. She's amazing. We love all the hard work she's done for us, and we're grateful. Mackenzie, if you're watching, love you, girl. Thank you. Yeah, there we go. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. So we are grateful. And we're going to make what we call the Oaxacan Old Fashioned. Super simple. This is my old fashioned build. We're just doing it with mezcal, and we're going to garnish it with lemon peel as opposed to orange. I think lemon and mezcal, or just lemon and agave spirits, play better than orange and agave spirits. That's my personal preference. If you, if you think otherwise, no problem. Do what you want, of course. But this is, you're watching my show, so this is how I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Cool. So, like we say every week, the difference between stirred cocktails and shaken cocktails. A shaken cocktail we are aerating. Thank you for that donation. A shaken cocktail we are aerating the cocktail. A stirred cocktail we do not want those air bubbles in it. We want it to sort of have the consistency of you fill up a big pint of water and add 1 drop of soap to it. It should be smooth. It should be almost oily, and that is what we're looking for. Cool. So I have this beautiful mezcal that Autumn picked out today. I have not had it before today, but it is sublime. It's called Yubal, Yuubaal. If I'm mispronouncing that, please correct me, but I'm pretty sure that's how it is. It's 96 proof.
And super fitting from Oaxaca.
Yeah,
This agave is coming from Oaxaca.
Yeah, produced in San Juan del Rio. The mezcal is a lot like wine. You can narrow if you can narrow it down to the specific plot of land from which it came. Generally, the quality is a lot better. So, cool.
And just like wine, the more you get into they do highlands and lowlands, right? For tequila, for agave.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're in a highland, all those agave plants are getting blasted by the sun all day. So you're getting this really rippy, acidic, like super, like alcohol-y, kind of like grippy mezcal.
Cool.
If you're in the lowlands, you're going to develop, like wine, a lot more sugar in the foggy kind of like afternoon low sun points, so you'll get more like sugary, rounded, like sweeter.
I did not know
tequila.
that. Thank you for teaching me.
Dude.
Highland, Lowland. Does it say what this is? I guess you just got to know the.
Yeah, we'll pick the
the
plot of
region.
land
Exactly.
and figure out which hill they grow them on.
And it's just one of those things. There's still so much to learn, and it's exciting. This one tells you exactly the wood roasting that they used, the fermentation, the yeast, the distillation water. The master mezcalero, the production time, the state, region, agave variety. It's incredible. So
and it's like penmanship on it. Like it's signed off by someone.
It's a beautiful bottle, and they have, of course, the DOC sticker on it. Cool. So I love mezcal. It's fun to play with, and if you've never had it in an old fashioned, it's to die for. Cool. So I'm going to start with my bitters, as I do whenever I make an old fashioned, into my mixing glass. Please don't use plastic for this. If you have a pint glass, that's totally cool. I have my little fancy beaker mixing glass, but use glass, and I'll show you why in just a second. So, 4 dashes of the Angostura bitters. If you have a new bottle, do 5 because a brand new bottle, right? The wash line, if you will. But the bottle will be filled to the top, and you won't get the exact same amount as you would if the liquor is down here, if that makes sense. So, but 4 dashes of bitters, 1/4 ounce of our 2-to-1 Demerara sugar syrup, and that's going right in to make a beautiful slurry of cinnamon, clove sweetness. And then 2 ounces of spirit. And like I said, this is my old-fashioned build. This is kind of the old-fashioned build anywhere except for most places in Wisconsin. But that's a different style of Wisconsin. Or the Wisconsin old-fashioned is its own cocktail.
Whoa. Illinois' largest state park.
Shots fired! Anyone in Wisconsin? You can take it up with Trent. So here we go. 2 ounces to the brim.
Thank you for Culver's and nothing else.
America's Dairyland. Now we're talking. Alright, cool. And like I said, we're stirring this one, so... I'm going to slowly add ice to this one. Any good comments on them?
The thread got a little taken away with the R&B, and truly what started happening was we started nights one.
Oh, dream come true.
Two, just wanna be with you.
Oh, wow.
Three,
Yes!
so it's plain to see
that you're
that is not the R&B artist. Keep guessing who it was tonight. The bum, our show out of gold diggers. We are now so famous that we got bumped by an A-list guy. We said it was a guy. It's a he.
Oh my god.
They figured it out.
Guys,
figured it out.
Brian McKnight has abs. Fail. Well, and, listen. If Brian McKnight was here in the room, I'd be cooler to him about his abs.
I'm sure too that he's. I mean, I imagine he's like an older dad, the beautiful dad bod.
But like, they don't know that like it wasn't Seal.
Well, Seal was guest.
Oh.
Seal was guest?
Seal was guest.
Actually,
Bruno Mars.
Kiss of the rose of
baby.
Fun
Fun fact, that's how we used to close the bar at Scarlet. We'd play Kiss from a Rose at
Kiss
fucking
from a
full
Rose.
volume. And everyone would like join arms and sing. It was incredible. I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Yeah.
And then what's he say?
I think it's ooh, the more I get from you, the stranger it feels.
It's from Batman Forever, I think.
And you know the lyrics? Yeah.
Incredible documentary, Batman Forever. Highly recommend. It's about a class struggle in Middle America. It's truly a once in a lifetime.
Oh,
dude,
this
it's
is a good
crazy
joke.
that we didn't get out of that.
Kevin said, who needs a six-pack when you can get the McKnight keg?
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Sure.
Brian McKnight's got the keg.
Well, that's how he gets all that low-end resonance.
Yeah. When he has to say, one.
You're like a dream come true. Yeah, go low, Autumn. Use your theater.
Yeah, come on, Autumn.
Come on,
Use that
Autumn.
lower
Sing it low.
octave.
Sing it low.
All right, guys. So we're stirring our old fashioned here, and really quick before we get back to Brian McKnight, before this cocktail dies. So we know that the stirred cocktail is done when the outside of our mixing glass is getting a little bit frosty, and when the ice looks smooth. As we say every week, the rough ice. If you take rough ice right out of the fridge, you see those rough little patterns on the outside. When the ice starts looking smooth, when the cocktail starts looking glassy, when it starts looking like it has like an oil slick, that's how you know it's done. And we're going to lightly pour this over some rocks. Oh yes, that is the perfect consistency. Where it's not like bubbling. It kind of looks thicker than water, but it's not. And then I'm going to take my lemon coin that I just cut. Make sure you have no lemon juice. You just have like the pith of the fruit, and just express it across the top, just like so. Then you can really see the oil slick. This is the fancy way of getting a cocktail to smell different than it tastes. Is express the oils. You can do it on your hand and you'll feel it. And then just go ahead and tuck that right in. Some people like cherries in their old fashions. I'm a fan. It's fine, whatever. But I don't like when the cherry juice or whatever throws off the sweetness.
And not in LA.
Yeah,
it just doesn't happen.
It is not really a thing out here.
Maybe in Manhattan, they'll get a brand new cherry.
That's really, really damn good. Honestly, there's
dude.
zero burn because I diluted it. It's 96 proof, and you would never know. It's got that really nice color from the Angostura bitters. It looks red almost instead of brown, and it smells super citrusy. And this is one of those where the quality of your, unlike the espresso martini, you can use whatever vodka. The higher quality your spirit, the higher quality your finished product will be. But like I said, it doesn't look like water and it doesn't look like oil. It's kind of like right in the middle. But the surface tension kind of grabs the sides of the glass without it looking like tap water. You'll know it just takes a little practice, but stirred drinks the big difference is when I come to your house and make you a drink versus when you make an old fashioned is you're probably pouring whiskey onto rocks and adding sugar and everything at once. But just take the extra step, stir it. I promise you the finished product will be better. It will last longer. It won't just dissolve the ice. It won't melt the ice immediately. It's a proper cocktail, adding water. We're diluting it and adding water. And there's nothing wrong with a little bit of water when you're drinking something that dehydrates you clinically. So
It's the ultimate trivia question.
yeah,
What's the one ingredient in every cocktail
Yeah.
that's not listed?
exactly. So I love that cocktail.
Race fair.
That was Trent's idea to do the Oaxacan Old Fashioned today, and I'm very glad we did because that is damn
How
good.
quickly we become Angelinos.
Yeah,
I mean,
indeed.
also-
We're like, oh, the sun! Out of Chicago.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, oh!
Oh my god.
Shout out to Drake at Total Wine because he was the one that recommended that mezcal specifically for making mezcal old fashioned.
No shit.
Get in on this.
Really? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really, honestly, very good.
Dude, I have double apologies to Brian McKnight. So first off, looked up his top songs. Literally, don't know another one. Maybe I do if I heard it, other than Started Back at One or whatever it's called. But what I also want to apologize for is he looks like a salt and pepper zaddy
Oh.
right
Oh,
now.
yeah? Yeah?
Dude is looking good. I don't even know if it's a keg. I think it might be like a holiday 8-pack. Like this dude's
Oh, really?
like Hollister model level.
Okay,
You know,
okay,
he looks
alright.
chiseled. It's like evocative of like Idris Elba. Like
Oh, wow.
like
Okay.
he's looking good.
Good for Brian McKnight. Hell yeah, man. I'm a big fan of that.
Also, Kevin did the hard work for us and found the lyrics for Kiss of a Rose, and it's Baby, I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the gray.
Okay.
On the grave?
On the grave.
I thought it was on the grave.
the rose on the grave.
Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels. And now that
Sorry, man.
I can't say the lyrics
No,
over it.
we're singing
We're
right
singing it
behind
in
you.
real time.
Exactly.
And now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the gray.
light hits the gloom on the grave.
Actually, kind of
Lost it up again, but I had the secondary.
Oh
notes.
my god, dude. I mean, last week we sang I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire. So, I mean, there's got to be a musical
go to
number
the
every
spots.
single week.
Oh my god, yeah.
Well, that's all the cocktails we have prepared for you today.
Take that.
Yeah, I'm super grateful for everyone who tuned in. I don't know how many people watched. I don't care if it was one person, if it was 1,000. We had a great time with you guys. We raised hopefully a good amount of money for the California
Yes.
Innocence Project.
Top hand a little lower.
We do this every week, every Friday. We have a crazy amount of exciting shows coming at you. Next week benefits an amazing charity called Girls Inc. or Girls Incorporated, and we're doing it's all egg white or full egg cocktails, and
The egg.
we are destigmatizing them young egg cocktails. Making some super exciting stuff. And then the week after that is the viewer request special, where we are making all cocktails that you guys have requested. We have
Yes.
a long list.
Yes.
And if you guys have any requests right now, please throw them in the chat. We'd love them. We are trying to do a request special every single month of all cocktails that you guys
And
want.
if you have any more money, throw it at us so we
Yeah.
can give
We
it
like
to the lawyers.
$1 bills.
Yeah,
One.
honestly, a dollar,
Fucking-
and
it doesn't matter.
If you can give 50 cents, it doesn't matter. Just whatever you can.
Give us $1.34. 134 people have been freed.
Exactly. Yeah, or I think it's 34.
34.
34.
Oh, 34.
34,
Give us
yeah.
$1.34.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you can't
Whatever.
give $1, give us a suggestion for a charity that you really, really like, or for an organization that really could use some help right now, because we know there are a lot of them. So please hit us with any suggestions for any cocktails for the future. Any questions, please. It's been awesome the last couple of weeks. You guys following us on Very Good Cocktails on Instagram. A lot of fun questions coming to us through the DMs on, is this shake good? Or is my syrup all right? Or is this right or wrong? We are here to answer all those questions for you. Please, we are very available. 3 of us are all over those socials. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. That would mean a lot. It would be cool to build a bigger audience on that because we are raising money for great causes.
Yeah.
To all of the people watching from Gold Diggers, thank you so much for all of your help. obviously, we're not there today, but we can't wait to come back. Who else to thank? Of course, everyone for watching and their donations. To Autumn right here, to my right, your left. To Trent right here, my left, your right.
Respect.
For all their hard work. We are, like I said, next week's going to be so fun playing with egg whites. I promise you guys, they are not scary. If anything, they're super fun. And it's a really fun technique to add to your bag. You would be surprised at the flavor explosions you get from a whole egg cocktail, I swear. We're probably going to make one in a second.
Yeah.
After we sign off here. Exactly, dude. Doing some research and development. But please, if you have any questions about anything, please reach out to us. And we do teach private classes as well. We do corporate events. We've got a whole Zoom license and all that. So you can do up to 300 people if you want. If you have any questions about any of that, send us a message. I'll send you the whole pricing breakdown, brochure, all of that. And we will have us a great time. And I think that's pretty much it. If you guys... Oh, yeah. Trent's got it queued. There it is, dude.
CSL. Is this
No.
It's
Brian
Brian
McKnight.
McKnight.
Yes.
Yeah. Sitting at his piano.
This is incredible. You know what?
Ooh.
Hell yeah. I don't want the stream to get taken down for copyright material, so I'm going to keep talking over it. No, it's okay, as long as the audio... blah, 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 blah.
Oh,
Right,
dude,
exactly.
hey, two. You started at me and you.
But we are very excited to be back at our home at Gold Diggers. It's so fun hanging out at a bar with you guys. I know you guys miss bars as much as we do. And, yes, dude, now we are
Dude,
talking.
if you didn't make out in the back of a Ford Explorer to this, you haven't even been raised in this country.
You have this lit. Oh my god, I hope you're singing at home, guys. Alright, guys, I'm Alex Wasily. That's Trent Icefeller. That's Autumn Teague. Thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. Thank you for your donations once again. And we will see you next week at 4 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern for another episode 5 of Very Good Cocktails. We'll be making egg white cocktails once again. And yes, dude. Are people singing? Oh my god. Raw passion. That's all that comes to mind. We'll see you guys.